But let's move on to the final topic for today. The judgment of the Supreme Court on local government autonomy is still generating controversies and bad blood in some states. The possibility of non-compliance with the judgment by some states has attracted the attention of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. The chairman of the commission, Musa Aliyu, SAN, has warned that ICPC will take action against any official or individual who defies the Supreme Court ruling on local government autonomy. In a statement, Aliyu stressed that any state official who violates the decision by the Apex Court will be held accountable for gross misconduct and abuse of office. BQ, it's not business as usual.
Well, I'm sure they know, they realized that, the president realized that these governors are stubborn and rigid and incorrigible enough to try to undermine the decision of the Apex Court of our land. You can see that a governor, one of the governors of the southwest states, was thrashing around over this matter. You would think it was more than a pronouncement by the Supreme Court. The way he was thrashing around, he was behaving as if the matter concerned only him. But you are just one out of 36 governors. So you don't have to lose your head because of a judgment. The judgment that binds and affects everyone, not you alone. But you are the one who was hitting his head against the wall over a mere judgment. I'm like, you know? So it's like they've had unfettered access to local government funds over the years. And change is something that Nigerians are usually reluctant to embrace. That change has come. They are not happy about it. I can tell you many of the governors are not happy with Mr. President. But this president removed subsidy.
He said it was a blessing in disguise.
No, it's a lie. After that, go and see what some of them have been saying. We've seen what some of them have been saying. They are not happy at all. You know? This president removed subsidy. Is the one being fired at for removing subsidy. But governors have been taking much more than they used to earn. I heard when the governor of Plateau State said, but inflation has eroded the money that they are being paid now. So that because of inflation, it's no longer up to what they used to. Then return the excess now. Return the excess, let us see. The truth is some of the governors are able to do more infrastructure now because they have more funds at their disposal than before. Look at the governor of Ekiti. He even increased the subvention to departments and agencies of government, even to the state university, increase their subvention because he has more money now. But one is saying, oh, it's a big inflation has eroded the whole money. There's no way inflation can erode. You people, there was a time when they were taking just about 400 billion. I know months when they took about 300 billion. Federation account that they shared, the 3 tiers of government. Now they are sharing in excess of 1 trillion, 1.3 trillion and all that. And you are saying inflation has eroded. You now earn a lot more. And you'll be able to do a lot. But their eyes are still on the local government funds. And you see, the whole idea of Supreme Court coming to give this judgment and saying this is the way things should be done henceforth, it will be defeated. If we simply fold our arms and allow governors to do what they like. Because they are still going to get this local government chairman, especially if they are installed by them. They are still going to get them to do their bidding, to work with them so that the states can still have access to some of the funds of this local government. And that is what we don't want to see. Let the local councils be able to use their funds.
Just bought cars for the states, for the local government chairman recently.
Is it chairman or traditional rulers?
It was local government chairman. I can't remember the governor now.
Well, I don't know who that is. Maybe he's trying to compromise them. But they should leave the councils to use their funds for their people. Look at in Lagos State here, a local government chairman constructed a housing estate working with the private sector. It's here in Kosofe here. How many such local governments in Nigeria are able to do such projects? That a council will come up with a housing project where people can buy homes and all that. They are not doing all that. All they do is they simply come and share money at the end of the month. And governors will sometimes determine what a local government chairman gets. It's not your money for God's sake, but you are the one determining in the name of a joint account. You are the one determining what should go to a local government chairman. It's injustice. It's a real travesty. And the Supreme Court said in that judgment read by Justice Agim that this joint account had been abused over the years. That he has rendered the joint account invalid. Yes, this constitution prescribes that there shall be a joint account, but by the force and the weight of the Supreme Court pronouncement, that portion of the constitution is no longer valid. Because the Supreme Court, as I always say, is a court not just of record but of policy, which means that it can make a statement and then it becomes law. So that is what we have now. That joint account no longer exists. They will pay them directly from the federation account. I understand that they've even demanded for the accounts of the states, the local government, so that they can be credited through TSA or whatever means they want to credit them. But unfortunately now, a lot of those, the judgment of the Supreme Court is not enforced in so many states because the councils have been dissolved and they are awaiting election into those local councils. Kogi, they are awaiting election. Rivers, they told the Rivers man to do election a long time. He didn't want to do election because he thought weakest people will win. But now he's the one asking for election. You know? So because you cannot do, if today the Supreme Court has outlawed dissolving local councils, you don't have the power to dissolve a local council anymore. And you can't suspend a local government chairman because he was elected just like you. The Supreme Court has outlawed suspending local government chairman. So, but we need vigilance. We talked about this in the course of the week, that all of these CSOs, the NGOs, what are they doing? They should put their eyes on the finances of the local governments. And I believe that's part of what the ICPC will do, because even if money comes to them and we turn away, those local government chairmen will start behaving like the governors too. They will be diverting the funds, doing what they like. We don't want that to happen.
But Vicky, now that Oyo State's local government chairman have pulled out of Alcon, are there no consequences for that?
They cannot go against the Constitution. They cannot go against the Supreme Court judge. Otherwise, they will go to jail. They can't go against the... And the Supreme Court also permitted government to not release money to local councils where elections were not conducted. You know, in the past, they used to just appoint caretaker. They said, no, wherever there is caretaker, they must not access the funds. You know? Don't forget, there was also a committee set up by President Tinubu to monitor. So they can really keep their eyes on these governors and the local government chairmen to ensure that, yes, what the Supreme Court wants done is what gets done. Without a high level of vigilance, this judgment will be circumvented, and the governors will continue to do what they like. With their, one governor was telling me that if a local government chairman receive alert, they will tell him. One governor told me in Abuja, and I'm like, these people, what do we do about these people? He said, if a local government chairman, he said, can a local government chairman win an election without my knowledge? He said, if a local government chairman collects alert, he will tell him that this alert has come from Federation account, which means he's not keeping his eyes off that money. So
that's scary anyways. Adoye, let me come to you. ICPC is talking tough, and it looks like the concern of whether or not local government chairmen will become mini-gods may not be there.
Well, for the fact that ICPC is talking tough shows that mere ruling of the Supreme Court that local government chairmen, once you go to local government chairman, local government directly, does not automatically translate to eliminating corruption even at the local government level. There are the chances of local government chairmen misusing such funds, even more than when they were under the control of the state, is there. Knowing human beings generally and knowing politicians. And it also shows that we need to do much more to ensure accountability at the local government level, beyond the dictates of the Supreme Court. And for me, it will be very difficult for the ICPC to monitor 774 local governments, because the ICPC can only monitor based on information provided by the people. So it means that in terms of transparency, accountability, it comes back to our people. In the first place, our local people must insist on electing credible people, not to appoint, to elect people that see politics as a career. When you serve as local government chairman for four years, it's from there you want to get your gratuity, your pension. So within those 4 years, you want to accumulate wealth, because you know you may now have the opportunity again. In the past, retired teachers, retired school principals, retired lawyers who had gone back home, who are getting their gratuity, will be elected based on credibility as local government chairman. And then we need people that are creative. It's one thing for you to have 100 million naira in your local government. It's another thing for you to have priorities, to have critical thinking on how to use such funds. That's why you have some countries that are very rich, but does not mean that they are developed. So you need people that have good ideas, people that understand what the priorities of their people. There are so many local governments that they go and build lock-up shops. You will not see anybody there. Because in building the lock-up shops, you did not consult with the people. What are your major needs? Even when you are doing your budget, there is no engagement of local communities. So you go there and just build something, post office. Oh, big, fine, but you don't see anybody there. Maybe the first thing that those communities need is borehole. Then there's no consultation. You don't understand their needs. So we need people that are credible. Elections, electing people, parties must be honest. They should allow people to pick the local government chairman, not by imposition by governors. Then the opposition should also show more interest in local government election. What usually happens is that when there's time for local government election, the opposition just assume that, oh, they are going to win. Go there and contest, engage them. And I think when I'm talking about civil society, it's also involved the media, our state correspondents in the states. It's not just about sitting down in State House and relying on press statements. Investigate and write, set agenda that Babajida and Co used to do in the news and Tempo. Set agenda for development, economic transformation of the society. So when we are talking about NGOs, it's not just civil society organization. The media also has an important role to play in terms of ensuring transparency, good governance at the local government level. I'm not a fan of federal government giving direct funds, but the Supreme Court has ruled now, so we have no alternative than to abide by the law of the land. So on that basis, we need to take it off from there.
All right, gentlemen, we have to go home. Thank you so much for your perspectives on the program tonight. Great conversation today. Babajide Kolade Otitoju Adewale Adoye. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching, everyone. That's all on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Bye for now, and God bless.